recording volume. Of course, you don't want your volume set to minimum, otherwise you won't be able to be heard. But you may not want the volume set to maximum either, otherwise the sound may be booming and distorted. When I close this dialog, a test recording will let me see what works best. You'll also want to edit the audio properties to adjust the volume for sound playback. If you don't see a column for wave, go to Options, Properties, and put a check in the box next to Wave. You can then press the red button on the sound recorder to test your recording. If all you see is a flat line, that probably means your computer does not have a built-in microphone. Try attaching an external microphone, and you should see the difference. Hopefully this short demonstration helps you see how Sound Recorder can help you adjust both your recording and your playback settings.
So once again, you want to do it that way, up yourself. So if you're recording through your computer, then that's what you need to do. If you're recording through your machine, then you don't.
Many computers allow you to use earphones to monitor what a microphone is picking up. You'll be able to hear better, cut down your reaction time, and maybe even write faster. In the presentation entitled Sound Recorder Test, we showed how to use Windows Sound Recorder to adjust your recording volume. There we went to the audio properties to adjust the microphone volume for recording. This time we want to adjust the microphone volume for playback. How loud the sound will be as we're listening through earphones to what the microphone is picking up. When you go to adjust the volume for sound playback, you may not see a column for microphone, but just go to Options, Properties, and put a check in the box next to Mic Volume. If you do not see a column for mic volume, that means that microphone monitoring is not encouraged on your computer. By default, the microphone volume for playback is muted, so be sure to attach your earphones before unmuting the microphone. Otherwise, you're likely to hear a loud squealing noise. With the mic unmuted, you can raise or lower this volume level to a comfortable one. In effect, you're using your computer as an amplifier to help you hear even in a large room. If you're in a courtroom, you can place your microphone between the judge and the witness, so you'll not only be able to hear the witness clearly, but you'll also be able to hear what needs to be written as counsel approach the bench for conference.
So, once again, my machine has an input for the microphone, for the external mic, and it has an input for the headphones. So you want to get an external mic that usually has a pretty long cord on it, because you want to, if you're sitting here and the judge is up here and he's probably this far away, and they come up for you're not going to be able to lean in and be able to hear them. So your microphone needs to be right up there to where the bench is far enough, where the cord is far enough to reach the bench, where when they come up there, and even if they're whispering, because they don't want everybody to hear. They don't want the jury to hear what they're saying. It's like, well, Judge, I have an objection. We said that we weren't going to talk about this. We need to approach the bench. It needs to be on the record, because they're going to probably argue about something that needs to be on the record, and if it goes up on appeal, then the appeals court needs to know what's going on with this. So unless the judge tells you, off the record, then you need to stay on the record. Well, you don't have to get up and move your machine every time. You just put your headphones on. And trust me, maybe I'll bring it one day and you can listen to it. It's amazing. It really amplifies the sound. And you can adjust the sound or whatever through the machine. You don't have to do it through your computer or what he's talking about right here. Okay? Or not, whatever. We're a little asleep. Jeez.
Let's see how easy it is to record and playback synchronized audio. I've gone to the Translate Notes dialog and selected Real-Time Translation, and put a check in the box next to Record Audio. OK to translate, name the job, and open it. With the status window open, I'll have the audio indicator to let me know I'm getting a good recording.
Remember I told you about that, the little status bar? It tells you how fast you're going, how many entries, stuff like that. Yes.
Have the audio.
No. So it tells you how many entries, how many untranslated conflicts, words per minute that you're going, and as long as this thing is jumping, it's recording. If it's not, it's probably not recording, okay?
Audio indicator to let me know I'm getting a good recording. Let me go to the Help menu and install a lesson from the Efficient Editing tutorial. This will be one of the Tell Me More articles on audio recording and playback. I'll now play the lesson, which starts by showing you that there are toolbar icons available for controlling the audio system. Even if you do not have such icons on your display, you can always go to the Tools menu, select Multimedia, and there you will find the controls, as well as indicators.
Remember I was telling you? Alt J is play. How do I stop it? Or in. Or in. Insert. In. Insert. Are y'all awake? I just said it. I just said it a while ago. You press in because you know it thinks that you want to type something in, so it stops the recording. Or you can do Alt H. I mean, I don't think you need to press all of that stuff or whatever, but I mean, if you want to do Alt H, to me, it's easier to do in, and even if I want to do a playback, I just do Alt J again and it plays again, okay? But if you want to, stop it and use Alt H, help yourself.
For the speed keys, stop, play, pause, and the audio control panel. However, I think the fastest way to access the audio controls is through hyperkeys that have been set up for you. And now I'll use the hyperkey that puts several playback speeds at my fingertips. The default is the original recorded speed.
Alright, now you have here the original
And there are also several faster speeds,
Alright, now you have here the original
as well as a slower speed.
Alright, now you have here.
These
So if you're having trouble, or it's a fast attorney, speaker, or whatever, and you need to slow it down, you can, and that's how you do it. Just slow it down to whatever. 100 is at regular speed, okay? And there's people, I usually speed it up a little bit because I can edit quicker, you know, and if they're talking like this, it's like, oh man, I'm just following along. I want to get through there. I want to get through it, but I want to be at an efficient speed where I can still pay attention to what they're talking about and not miss anything because it's going too fast. Does that make sense? And once you get your editing speed up, it'll make sense.
speeds,
Alright, now you have here the original
as well as a slower speed.
Alright, now you have here.
These hyperkeys simply save you the trouble of going to the Tools menu and opening the Multimedia Control panel. There you could type in a precise speed, or use the spin controls, or the slider bar to go faster or slower. You can also raise the volume threshold to squelch pauses during playback, but this is the subject of a separate visualizer.
Got it?
Let's see how Total Eclipse lets you easily adjust audio playback speed and skip over pauses. When hyperkeys are on, pressing the Shift and left bracket keys together will open this quick menu of choices for playback. I've also set up two speed keys that make it easy to go a bit faster or slower. Here, I'd like to play back the audio a bit slower. Of course, I could use the speed key Shift-Control-A to open the audio control panel and adjust the speed from there. But it's probably faster to press the Alt and left arrow key together.
Then you show your rework.
If I open the audio control panel, you can see how the keyboard command reduced the playback speed by 5%. There are several speed keys set up to move the playback position either ahead of your cursor or behind your cursor. Let's say you've been recording audio and you take a break, and it takes you a little while to start writing. Normally, if I have my cursor on this word and I press the command to play, the audio will be pretty much spot on.
Estimate is all going to be done.
But now I'll press the Alt and the up arrow key together a few times to move the playback position a bit further behind my cursor.
We show here rework.
There are definitely times when this feature can be very handy. Here there was a long pause.
Y'all see what they're talking about? So if you don't, I mean, to me, it makes it easier. Like wherever I wanted to start, that's where I want it. Okay? So it comes like that. It comes wherever you started. So unless you change it, then it's not going to do it. Okay? But if, you know, and some people just like, if it's going to start right here, they wanted it to start up here, and then this way, okay, now I can get started. So they hear a little bit of sound before it gets going. I'm just like, let's do this, you know? So wherever I put my cursor, that's where I want it to start.
First, we'll listen with the threshold set at 0, though you'll hear the pause.
Coming up with your estimate of the, up with your estimate of.
Now I'll use this playback menu to quickly raise the volume threshold.
Coming up with your estimate of the, up with your estimate.
So with total eclipse, you can easily control the speed of your audio playback, and you can also raise or lower the volume threshold to skip over pauses or silences.
You see what they're talking about there? So like say they, where did you go? I went to the store. Well, what time did you go to the store? Seriously? And he's looking through documents the whole time, trying to figure out the next question that he's gonna ask. Holy cow, okay? There's ways of fixing it, which is a threshold, or just put it on the next question and ready to go. Push in or Alt J, and this way you're going. Okay, you're not sitting there waiting. And then we say, well, hang on, Judge, I need to confer with my client for just a second. 45 seconds later, okay, you said you went to the store, and you're just sitting there waiting as this thing is playing. That's where the threshold comes in, or that's where they put it on the next question, push Alt J or play again. Let's get this thing going. You don't have to sit there and wait, okay?
Not only that, once you've set the speed and threshold the way you like it, there's a quick way to switch from these settings to the original speed and volume threshold. That's the purpose of the Clean Play button. So you can go quickly back and forth from listening to your audio exactly the way it was recorded or playing it back in a way that helps you get through your transcripts more quickly.
You see what it's telling you there? So with the Clean Play, it just takes you back to the original settings. So if you went through and you know, did it, and it's like, you know what, I just need to go back to the original whatever, then just do the Clean Play. Okay? Have I lost y'all already?
Yeah.
Who said that? You? We're almost done. We're almost done. Oh, we're done.
Oh, did they say Alt X?
Huh?
Because they agreed Alt X.
To exit. Okay, do you have any questions about what we covered tonight? Guys, we covered a lot of stuff again. Okay?
That was a lot of stuff. It was like
It
never
is.
ending.
It's a lot of stuff, but I mean, we've got to get through this stuff and kind of get going to get on the machine.
I think it'll
and
be
start
better
get
once
going.
we're on our machines.
Yeah, and it will. It'll get more interesting or whatever, but I mean, if you don't get this down, then we're gonna spend time going over stuff that y'all should have learned already.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we're spending time on this. Got it?
Got it.
Any questions?
Nope.
Okay. We'll see y'all Wednesday.
Okay. If I said